Do you believe that he's put trackers on your car?
I know he has because my iPhone told me that I was being tracked, and it even.
What brought you to the court to file this petition for order of protection?
These 9 voicemails, they escalated. The last one said he wanted me dead.
Right.
I'm scared to death.
I did in December of 24. I was trying to find out who she was spending 5-6 hours a day with. I wanted to find out who she was with. So
You don't think calling someone a whore and a slut every voicemail is harassing?
I guess it could be considered.
Okay.
Words carry significance. I don't think I've heard anything quite as vile and offensive.
Judge, this is our petition for order of protection. The parties are married. They are going through a contentious divorce. They've been married for 53 years. The petition alleges that the husband has been verbally abusive, calling, harassing. She also alleges stalking. He has showed up at places that he should have had no knowledge that she was at. They've also had a discussion about him placing a tracker on her vehicle, and she has the screenshot showing that there was a air tag placed on her vehicle. She at one point had a automobile accident in Davidson County, and it's going to be her testimony that the husband showed up at that scene of the accident before the police even did. There's pictures of him showing up at a friend of hers house and taking pictures of her vehicle in the driveway. While he was taking pictures of her vehicle, the security camera was taking pictures of him. So we do believe there's stalking going on, and this is elevated to the point where he calls her multiple times a day, calling her a whore and a slut and all this stuff. And one of the last voicemails says, "I hope you die." So it is escalating. He has numerous guns. She's afraid of him. So we're asking that the order of protection there is an ex parte in place. We're asking that it be continued as long as the divorce remains pending.
All right. Ms. Snow, you wish to make an opening statement?
Yes, Your Honor. Your Honor, the parties' divorce has been pending since May of 2025, so it's been over a year now. And Your Honor, I think it's kind of odd that no order of protection, no restraining order, nothing's been done until now. The parties had mediation less than or right at a week prior to this order of protection being filed. They were not successful in mediation. I feel that this order of protection is being done in a somewhat vindictive manner. A lot of the allegations complained of my client happened a long time ago when this divorce was first started. And I feel like to take out an order of protection now is just being done to be harassed. And my client, to be candid with the court, has maybe called her some names. And, Your Honor, I don't think it's the first divorce that we've ever heard somebody call their spouse a name. I don't think that gives rise to a level of an order of protection. The parties have grandchildren together. There's a birthday party that's being planned that is upcoming for one of the grandchildren, and I think this is being done so that he cannot participate or be in his grandchildren's lives. And I think this is just done in a vindictive manner. And again, it's been pending for over a year. Nothing's been done prior to this. And we do have a plausible reason of how he got notified about the car accident. The parties had joint insurance and got notified by the insurance company.
All right. Judge, I called my client. She has voicemails that she needs to play. Can she bring her phone to the stand?
She can bring her phone up there. There's a microphone on there. A little bit awkward. If you'll come right around here and have a seat, ask you to please stand and raise your right hand. Face our clerk. Thank you.
Just state your name for the court.
Joy Mitchell.
You see that microphone right there?
Joy Mitchell.
All right, pull it down to you. We still can't hear you.
Joy Mitchell.
Better. Okay. And how do you know the respondent in the blue shirt here?
We're married.
Okay. How long have you been married?
53 years.
Okay. And what brought you to the court to file this petition for order of protection?
These 9 voicemails.
Okay.
They escalated. The last one said he wanted me dead.
Okay.
And
Right.
I'm scared to death.
All right. I want to pass you a copy of something. Do you recognize that?
I do. These are the copies of the emails on my phone screen.
Is that your call log?
Yes.
All those calls on the same day?
Yes,
Okay. And I'm going to also pass you. No,
on June the 27th.
and that's of this year.
Yes,
And what is that?
that's the call log.
Is that the screenshot of your voicemails?
Yes,
Okay. And are all those voicemails from your husband?
yes,
And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 voicemails in less than an hour's time. Is that correct?
9.
9 voicemails.
hmm
Okay. Can you
The
play?
others were on a different page.
Okay, I'm sorry. Judge, can I make these first exhibit collective?
Right. We'll make, I'll mark these, mark this as a collective exhibit.
Thank you, Judge. Ms. Mitchell, you have your phone there in front of you.
I do.
Can you play those recordings from the first one to the last one?
Yes, sir,
Okay.
I can.
Your Honor, I am going to object. We had discovery that has been sent, and these were not supplemented or provided to me in the discovery, so I'm going to object to their introduction today.
That's for the divorce case, Judge. This is a separate action.
It is a separate action, although it's been consolidated with the divorce action itself. And my understanding is on an order of protection, it's not necessarily required that they be provided to you in advance of the hearing. So I'm going to overrule your objection.
Thank you, Judge. Can you go ahead and play them from the beginning to the end, and just tell us when one ends and the next one begins if it's not evident,
All right.
and put the phone up to the microphone.
Hey, road whore, call me back.
Is that the first one? Is that the end
That's
of
the first one.
All right, play the second one, please.
Hey, road whore, answer your phone, you fucking slut. Suck you, I hope you die. Hey, road whore, are you fucking David Berry 2 years ago? You piece of shit. Hey, bitch, who's David Berry? Are you fucking David Berry, road whore? Was you fucking 3 years ago? You bitch. Are you fucking David Berry, road whore? Was you fucking 3 years ago? You bitch. Hey, road whore. You called David Berry before you ever left me. Who's David Berry, road whore?
Are those all of
That's
them?
the end.
Judge, I would ask that those recordings be made as a collective exhibit. I have them on a flash drive to make it easier for court.
Mark them as Exhibit 2.
Now, Ms. Mitchell, I think you may have played some of those out of order by the call log. Was the last one he sent you the one that says, "I hope you die"?
That was the fourth.
The fourth one?
The fourth.
Okay,
one.
I'm sorry. When he said he hoped you die, how did it make you feel?
And Your Honor, for the record, I didn't get a copy of the flash drive. I mean, just to have a copy of the same
It
evidence.
made me feel
Overrule
Hey,
the same basis for the overruling of the objection. This is an order of protection, which is an extraordinary remedy, and therefore I'm allowing this evidence for that reason.
And Judge, just for the record, I want to make clear, I told Ms. Snow about these this morning and told her that I was going to play them. She never once asked to listen to them.
It's kind of moved the day of, so.
How did that make you feel saying he hoped you die?
well. It's a sad state when you've been married to somebody for 53 years and they can treat you that way.
Did that put you in fear?
It does.
Okay.
And he has a gun safe full of guns.
Okay. Has he been violent with you in the past?
Yes,
Okay. Tell the court about that.
he's pushed and shoved.
Okay. And did that put you in fear of him?
Yes,
Okay. Has he ever hit you?
yes.
Okay. And when was that?
It's been a while.
Okay.
I don't remember the exact date.
Okay. But because of him being violent in the past, are you afraid of him now?
Yes,
Okay. Tell the court about the stalking. Do you believe that he's put trackers on your car?
I know he has because my iPhone told me that I was being tracked, and it even showed me where he was tracked. I was at the Veterans Cemetery putting wreaths on the veterans' graves
Sorry.
in November.
Those are the same thing. One was for the witness. I apologize. There should be 2 copies there. Do you recognize that?
That was the screenshot of my cell phone where I was being tracked at the Veterans Cemetery putting wreaths on the veterans' graves.
Okay. Now this says it's from December of 24. Is that correct?
Okay, yes.
Is it?
I
Okay.
was thinking it was November, but it was December.
Okay. Judge, can I mark this as the next exhibit? I think it's 3.
Marked Exhibit 3.
Now, has there been other times since then that you and the husband have had conversations about him tracking you?
When I was notified by my phone of this, I was concerned because I didn't know who was doing the tracking. And so I spoke with my children and they said that
Don't tell us. Don't tell us
Okay.
what the children said. I'm asking you: have you had a conversation about a tracker on your vehicle with your husband?
yes, and
Okay.
he bold-faced told me 3 times he had not done it.
Okay. So what did you do?
I was going in the house to get my purse in order to go to the West Nashville precinct to see if they could get the tracker out.
Okay. And what happened?
I called and they don't do that sort of thing.
Okay. When you tried to leave, did something happen?
He stuck his arm up in the back end of the car
Okay. And
and was trying to pull something out.
okay. And when was this?
It was after I was notified. It says it's December the 15th.
So this was at the same time as this notification?
It might have been the day after because
But around the same time.
yes, around the same time.
Okay. Now, have there been other incidents where you would be at someone else's house and he would show up?
Yes,
Okay. Tell me about that.
I was helping a friend decorate his Christmas tree on Thanksgiving Day.
Thanksgiving of this past year?
Yeah.
25?
Yes.
Okay. Do you recognize that?
It's my husband taking a picture of my car.
Okay. And where was this at? The friend's house?
Yes,
Okay. And did you tell him you were going to the friend's house?
I did not.
Y'all were already separated at that point, is that correct?
Yes,
Okay.
we had been separated since June the 1st, the day or 2nd, the day that he was served.
Would he have any knowledge, any way to know that you were at this friend's house on this day?
Not unless he had a tracker.
Okay. And is that him in the car?
It is.
Okay. And
That is his car.
okay. Judge, that has to be marked next exhibit.
4.
How did that make you feel where he showed up somewhere that you were without you telling him?
I didn't have any idea how he knew I was there or why I was there or why he showed up.
Did that make you afraid of him?
Yeah, because I felt like he was stalking me.
All right. Now, you heard what I said in the opening about the car wreck. Tell the court about the car wreck. When did that happen?
It was on March 13th. I had driven all the way back from Florida that morning and I was going around a cul-de-sac. I had just left a Mexican restaurant and I was going back to my apartment. And I was going through a roundabout thing, not a cul-de-sac, roundabout. And a car hit me.
Okay. And did you call the police?
I did.
Okay. And did your husband show up at that wreck?
He did.
How soon after the wreck did your husband show up?
Well, he got there before the police and the wrecker.
Okay. Did you find that odd?
I did.
Okay. Approximately how long after the wreck was it before he showed up?
15 minutes, maybe. It wasn't even that long, maybe.
Okay. And how far away does your husband live from where you had the wreck?
A good, at least 7 to 10 minutes, maybe.
Okay.
He lives in Pegram and the wreck was in Bellevue.
Okay. So it is possible that if he were at home, that he could have made it to the wreck from the time the wreck happened and those 15 minutes.
Maybe.
Okay. Did he make any comments to you when he showed up at the wreck?
No, a friend of mine stepped in front of him
Okay.
to separate him from me.
Okay. What do you mean by that? Was he coming towards you or what?
He was trying to get in the door, and my friend is rather large, and he stepped in front of the door to keep him from coming in. And my friend was kind of upset with him because he said he was trying to get in to see if I'd been drinking, because it happened right in front of a pub. And I went in because my friends were there. That's where they'd gone. I was on my way home. And they went in there, so I knew that one of them could give me a ride home.
Okay. So after the wreck, you went into the pub
Yes.
and waited on your friends?
Yes.
Okay.
Because they were going to give me a ride home because the car was inoperable.
So how far
And we had to
from
wait for a tow truck.
how far from the scene of the wreck was the pub?
100 feet.
Okay. So
Mhm.
when he came to the wreck, he then came to the pub?
Yes.
How did he know you were in the pub?
I have no earthly idea.
Okay. Has he also threatened to damage some of your property?
He has damaged some of my property.
Okay.
He burned a welcome sign that was on the patio. I found the other half of it in the burn barrel. And then there was a sign that said "My Happy Place," and he bent it half in two.
Just so we're clear, you said the wreck was in March. Was that of this year?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you recognize those text messages?
I do.
Okay. Tell the court when these are from.
I don't know exactly. I would have to look back on my phone and see
Judge, can she do that?
if I
So she
still
can
have that on my phone.
look back and
So
see.
you asking for her to be able to consult her phone?
Yes, to refresh her recollection, Judge.
She may refresh her recollection.
I'm not able to find that email.
Well, it wouldn't be an email, it'd be a text message.
I mean, text message.
Read through the messages. Do you recognize this as him talking to you?
Yes, it is, because I was the one that texted him wanting to know if he would put my mail in the mailbox.
Okay. Can you read those messages for the court?
Put my mail in the mailbox. I'll pick it up on my way to the chiropractor at 2:45 to 3:30ish, or can pick it up on the way to Friendsgiving in Kingston Springs, your choice, which will be a little before 5:30. I have some of your stuff sitting outside the fence. If you pick them up today, I will have some of your clothing sitting out tomorrow. Okay. I'll get the rest when I have a truck. The love seat does not fit in my car, and you need to put the 2 chairs out there that go with it. Hey, Skank, this is my new target for tomorrow morning. It goes to the landfill in the morning. And then I told him that I sent this text to my lawyer. If you destroy my stuff, you're going to pay for it. And then he said, fuck you and your retarded lover, Larry, road whore. I have never had sex with him. I have a contract to pay him back the money I borrowed to get the divorce. And then he tells me I'd rather not
Well,
use.
don't tell us. Just read it. Just read it. No
Okay.
commentary. Just read it.
You are a goddamn liar, you worthless piece of shit. You fucked everything with a hard dick. Then I had ED. You're Bellevue's biggest whore, and he spelled it wrong. You worthless piece of shit. You fucked everything with a hard dick. And then I told him that I was the only person. You are the only what? The only one I fucked this night while you were at work. You got home after late, so I could fuck anyone after 11 or 12:15, and you did. No one can save you now. And I informed him that everything I typed is in blue. You typed that. I guess you forgot what you were going to say. And he says, you're a lying road whore. You licked his dick. How does size asshole taste? Besides, that's the only place his dick has been besides in your mouth. And then he says, I have your magazine basket sitting on the patio with a box of your magazines. If you have any time today to pick it up, pick them up. And have a short talk without losing your temper. Text me back. Sorry, I just saw this. There's no way you can live without your phone for 20 minutes. Did you just get out from under your gang.
Now, Ms. Mitchell, it says there that he's want to have a conversation with you if you could not lose your temper.
That's what it says.
Based on this, does it look like that you're the one with the temper problem?
Not to me.
Judge, can I mark this as next exhibit?
Exhibit 5.
Now, Ms. Mitchell, in that first text, he was talking about using something for target practice, and there's a mention, you mentioned him destroying your property. Has he destroyed some of your property?
The love seat that I got back, it's burnt on the back, and that's a picture of it where
Okay.
it's burned.
What are those other pictures there?
That's a picture of the kids Connect 4.
Why is that relevant? I don't know anything about Connect 4. So is that damaged or broken somehow?
He left it so the weather could get it. I had it on the other side of the patio, so it was
Okay.
destroyed.
What are the next two pictures of?
Oh, that was the things that he gave me back were kids' toys that my grandkids have outgrown.
Okay. But the only one of any damage is the first picture?
Yes.
Okay. Judge, I'm sorry. Can I tear off those last three? Only admit the first one.
Right.
And those text messages that you read, does he text you like that all the time? Just harassing?
He has.
Okay. And are you afraid of him?
I am.
Okay. Are you asking the court to extend this order of protection?
I am, because I don't want him. I mean, Tennessee's the #1 state for women dying, men walking
I'm
through
going to object to
protection
her
orders.
testifying as to statistics of
sorry.
domestic violence. I'm going to object to, she's not an expert about domestic violence, and ask that comment be stricken.
And what was your answer? I'm sorry. What were you saying?
That
He asked if you were afraid of it, right?
yes, I am.
Not
And-
sustained anything beyond that.
Are you also asking the court to award you your attorney fees for filing this petition?
Yes,
Okay.
because
Judge,
he
those are-
started this.
Okay. Judge, those are my questions.
Ms. Snow, you may cross-examine.
You had talked about the AirTag and produced a picture. And I want to make sure I understand your testimony. This was in November of 2024. Is that correct?
Correct.
So it was almost 2 years ago.
Yes.
And then the picture of whose house were you at? The picture from November of 25.
A friend of mine,
Okay, what is your friend's name?
Larry.
What is Larry's?
Larry Minnick.
Larry Mimic.
Minnick.
Minick.
Minnick.
And is that somebody that you're romantically involved with?
No,
Okay, you haven't had any kind of relationship with him?
I did when I was 14.
Okay,
We dated.
okay. But he's recently given you a substantial amount of money, is that correct?
He gave me the money to get the divorce, yes.
How
And
much-
it's a loan.
All right, how much has he given you? Or
Well,
loaned you?
$15,000 for the divorce.
Any other money?
From time to time, yes.
All right, and how much are we talking?
Don't really know. I've not kept a record of it.
Okay. So he's loaning you this money, but you haven't kept up with how much you owe him?
I've kept up with what I owe him.
Okay. So that was November of 25. That was almost 8 or 9 months ago. Is that correct?
It was in February of 2025. I think because that was how I was able to hire the attorney.
Okay, but the picture that you testified to was November of 25. Is that correct?
Correct.
And then the text that you
It should have been
provided,
November of 2024.
November of 24.
Yes.
And the text that you provided, you don't have a date for those?
June 26th.
No, I'm sorry, let me clarify.
Okay.
The text, these texts that you introduced.
Those texts, I do not have the date because all it says is that it's on I think it said Saturday. Let me look. No, it says Tuesday at 12:31 p.m. And then it doesn't say the date.
All right. It also states in there, you text that you are on your way to a Friendsgiving in Kingston Springs. Is that correct?
True.
So this would have been in around November. Friendsgiving is celebrated in
Right.
conjunction with Thanksgiving. Is that
Yes.
correct?
Yes.
So this would probably coincide with the other events that happened in November of 2024. Is that correct?
Possibly, but it could have been 2025. I don't know.
Okay.
Because it doesn't say, I don't have a complete timestamp on it.
So you don't know if this was, it was either November of 2024 or November of 2025, but you're not sure which one. Is that correct?
I think it was 2024.
Okay.
But I'm not sure.
Which would go in conjunction with these other complaints that you have. Is that correct?
Well, not if it was 2025. Like I said, I don't really know the timestamp on this one.
Okay. But you complained about the air tag. That was November of 24. You complained about these text messages and then showing up at your friend's house, which was November of 24.
Showing up at the friend's house might have been 2025.
Okay. You just testified it was
Let me see.
2024.
Okay, 2024 then.
Okay. The picture on the couch, you have no idea what happened to the couch, do you?
It's burned. I don't know how he did it.
Okay, you're just assuming that he did that to be malicious. Is that correct?
Well, it wasn't done before I left.
Okay, but you don't know what happened to it.
I do not.
Did you take out an order of protection in November of 2024?
No.
Okay, did you take out one in November of 2025?
No.
Okay. Did you take one out in March when you had the car accident?
No. I didn't until he wanted me to die.
Okay. And so you took the text, or you took the order of protection. You didn't take it after the incident that you received the text on June 27th. Is that correct?
That was what made me get the order of protection.
But you didn't take it out the next day or the day after that or the day after that, did you?
No, I was working.
You were working. Okay. Is it coincidence that you took the order of protection right after we had mediation that did not settle?
No, that had nothing to do with it.
Okay. You attended the mediation, is that correct?
Yes.
And we had that in Miss Salinas' office.
Yes.
And did you ever tell the mediator or anyone else that you didn't want to participate in the mediation because you were scared of Mr. Mitchell?
No,
Objection,
because I was
Judge.
already told that we were going to
Objection,
be in
Judge.
separate rooms.
Sorry.
The there's a confidentiality agreement that's signed regarding the mediation. They're not allowed to
Anything
discuss.
that occurs in mediation is confidential and cannot be introduced in court. So,
And Your Honor, I'm not trying to introduce what happened in mediation. I'm just establishing the fact that she was there and she participated in person in mediation.
and that's been established. I sustain the objection as to anything else.
The mediation was on July 1st. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. And then the incidents with the text were June 27th. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And then when did you take out the order of protection?
I believe it said the 19th it was filed.
So you waited approximately 3 weeks. Looks like you signed this either July 8th or July 9th. Does that sound correct?
It does.
Okay.
I
So-
believe I signed it the 8th and it was signed that afternoon and I got the copy the next day because I had to drive back over here to pick it up.
Your Honor, there's a little discrepancy on the order of protection, just for what it's worth. It shows it's filed July 8th. However, her notary signature is July 9th, so I'm not really sure what date it actually was because there's some discrepancy on the date of the petition.
The judge signed it that afternoon and I had to pick it up the next day, and that's when the Chancery Court woman signed it and gave it to me.
So you took it out several weeks after the incident with the text on June 27th and roughly a week after mediation. Is that correct?
Yes, I believe so.
That's all I have, Your Honor.
Redirect.
Just briefly, Judge. Ms. Mitchell, after the incident happened on the Thanksgiving or whatever day it was, you were at your friend's house and your husband showed up. Did you recall emailing that to me? That
I
picture?
do. I do.
And Judge, can I pass her the original that has the timestamp on it?
Sure.
Can you read that for the court? What date and time that is? It's in the top left corner.
Yes, it is 11/27/2025.
Okay. So the date that he showed up at your friend's house was this past year, not 24.
Yes,
Okay.
that is correct.
Okay.
I was actually on the telephone with a friend of mine.
Okay.
Talking to her.
Judge, that's all I have.
Anything further?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Thank you, ma'am. You may step down and have a seat at the table.
Judge, that's our proof.
Plaintiff has rested their proof on the order of protection. Ms. Snow, do you wish to offer any proof?
Your Honor, I'd like to call Mr. Mitchell.
Mitchell, if you'll stand and raise your right hand, face the clerk to be sworn in.
Mr. Mitchell, you've heard your wife testify, and I'm going to follow up with some questions that she testified to. Have you ever hit your wife?
No,
Okay. And she indicated that you had, but didn't give any details and couldn't remember any dates.
I have never struck my wife.
Have you ever shoved or pushed your wife?
Yes.
Okay, tell me about that.
She was pushing on the gate and she was beating the gate on my arm and she bruised my arm and I got tired of her banging it against my arm and I pushed back and banged on her arm for a little bit.
Okay.
So I just returned what I got.
Have you ever instigated or done anything to push her or shove her in which you were not in a position where you were trying to defend yourself?
No.
Let's talk about some of the things she testified. She had introduced to the court a series of texts and that where you were discussing, she's picking up some things and that she's going to be in Kingston Springs during Friendsgiving. Do you recognize those texts?
Yes, I do.
And did you look at your phone to see when those texts were done?
Yes.
And when were those?
In November, the first text that I on that list was November the 11th. The next text was November the 17th after I found out who wrote her the check for $15,000.
Okay. And that would have been a 2024, is that correct?
25.
25. Okay.
Wait, I'm sorry. Hold on a minute. It's 24. Yes.
Okay. And you were upset, is that correct?
Yes. When I found out that she had been seeing her old boyfriend and her sugar daddy, Larry Minnick, who I graduated with, I was totally shocked.
And do you regret sending some of the verbiage that you sent to her?
Yes.
And did you ever threaten her, or did you ever mean any harm by doing that?
I did not. I have never threatened her. I mean, yeah, I said I hope you die, but hopefully of nothing that's caused by violence. You know, I just was hoping she'd have a heart attack or die of guilt or something.
All right. You've been upset during this divorce, is that correct?
Very upset.
Okay.
She's been cheating on me after 51 years of marriage, and according to some of the phone things I found out about David Berry, she was cheating on me before she ever left the house.
So some of this information, you found out about the $15,000 check that Mr. Mimic had given her. We had just gotten that in our discovery. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And then you found out about, and I apologize, the other gentleman's name, but we had gotten that when we subpoenaed phone records. Is that
Right.
correct?
His name and about 3 other guys' names.
So, and that's when you sent her the text on June 27th. Is that correct?
June 27th started off as not sending bad texts. She sent a box full of flags and things back from my 4th of July decorations, and she had wadded them up, stuck them in there. I texted or called and asked if we had an iron, because I couldn't put anything up that looked that bad. And she said, we don't. And then she started an argument, and that argument escalated for the rest of the day.
So was this argument just one-sided on your behalf, or was it also arguments from her?
She started the argument, and she has a real big thing about not answering her phone or stuff when I come. So I cannot tell you exactly how the argument went on the phone, but on the text, it was both sides.
Has she called you names in the past?
Yes. And she's told me she's hoped that I died in the past. I've got a recording of it on my iPad.
Do you have that with you today?
It's right there.
Can you find that fairly quickly?
I'll try. I believe it was April the 11th of 24. I'm sorry, I can't find it right now. I'll hunt for it a while to represent that.
Okay. You believe that was April, you said the 11th of 25?
Of 24. It was before she left, because I'm thinking that was the day where she banged the gate on me and I banged the gate back.
Okay.
Or the day after or something like that.
And these, Mr. Mitchell, you provided me a copy of your calls where you called her on the 27th. Is that correct?
Yes.
And we're showing 1, 2, 3, 4, only 5 calls. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And you were only on there for less than 30 seconds on each call. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. And you were upset that day. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And did you leave some voicemails that perhaps you should not have left?
Yes, I did.
Okay. And do you have any intention on harming your wife?
No. Never have. Never harmed her in the past and never planned to harm her.
Okay. And can I make that as an exhibit to your testimony?
Yes.
Mr. Mitchell, I'm going to kind of go back a little bit. Looks like the first thing that Ms. Mitchell complains about you is in November of 24. This is when she claims that there was a tracker on her phone or on her car, and some of these initial texts went out. And were the two of you still married at that time?
In 24, yes, we're still married today, but
Right.
yeah, we were married then.
All right. But a divorce complaint for divorce had not been filed by then. Is that
No,
correct?
it didn't get filed. I never received papers till June the 2nd,
Of 2025?
24.
24. Okay. And you're sure it was 24 or not 25?
25.
Okay. So y'all were still together in November of 24. Is that correct?
Yes.
And because I know her attorney's going to ask you, so I'm going to go ahead and ask you, did you put an air tag on your wife's car?
I did in December of 24.
Okay. And then you took it off immediately. Is that correct?
I didn't know an air tag would rat you out. I had no idea that it would tell her that there was one on there. I was trying to find out who she was spending 5-6 hours a day with throughout December. I put it on there because I knew that she was going to take her walk and then she's going to spend some time with somebody.
Okay. But you immediately took it off. Is that correct?
When she confronted me, I waited till she went inside and I took it off.
Okay. And you haven't had an air tag or followed her or done anything since then. Is that correct?
No, I haven't followed her or got an air tag or anything.
Okay.
Oh, let me back up. Yes, I did follow her one time on June the 1st of this year. Me and my grandson were mailing her alimony check. I've got pictures of me putting in the mailbox. We pulled on Highway 70 and somebody in a gray SUV, some woman shot me a bird and my grandson was sitting in the car. I followed the vehicle less than a mile. I got behind it and it was her. She shot us a bird. So she was provoking things that didn't need to be provoked. And as soon as she turned toward Kingston Springs, I went across the railroad tracks, did a U-turn, and came home with my grandson.
Does she provoke you a lot?
Every chance she gets.
Okay.
She knows what buttons to push.
Let's talk about the car accident. How did you find out that your wife had a car accident?
My insurance company informed me.
Okay. And was her vehicle owned? Did y'all have a group policy back in March of this year?
She was on my policy. It was the same policy, yes.
And who was your insurance with?
Safeco.
And how did they notify you?
They text me.
Judge, I
I
object
think it's for the judge.
to this. It's not authenticated. It is not a business record, an authenticated business record, and it's hearsay.
What is it?
Your Honor, is a text that my client can testify that he received from Safeco that there was a car accident.
Well, I think the text itself is hearsay, but if it's being introduced to show, for a purpose other than admitting its truth, in other words, there's no question about it having been a car accident. So if you're admitting it to show why he took certain action, I'm going to overrule the objection simply because it is clearly hearsay. And I'm allowing it only to allow her to question Mr. Mitchell about why he took certain actions. If it's being introduced for a purpose other than to prove the truth of the matter asserted therein, then I think it would be admissible.
And Judge, the other issue is it doesn't say when he received this text message.
And I think that's the subject of cross-examination. All right.
Mr. Mitchell, is this the text message that you received from Safeco Insurance Company?
Yes, it is.
And is there a date on there?
Yes. The 13th of March.
Okay. And do you recall, does it have a time that you received this text?
I'm going to say the time's between 9 and 9:15.
Okay. There is at the top, it says 10:37. Is that just when you took a screenshot?
That's when that's when I took the screenshot of the text.
All right. But you recall that you received that around 9 to 9:30 p.m. on March the 13th of 26.
Well, it was before, it was between 9 and 9:27.
Okay.
Because at 9:27, made a call.
Okay. All right. And so you received this. Were you concerned about what had happened?
Yes, I didn't know anything about it. I didn't know if she was hurt. I didn't know where the wreck was. I didn't know if she was being transported to a hospital.
And did you attempt to call your wife?
Yes, I attempted to call her at 9:27 after I got this text.
Your Honor, can I make that as an next filed exhibit, please, to his testimony?
You would have had that.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Mitchell, is this a screenshot from your phone where you attempted to call your wife at 9:27 on May the 13th of 2026?
Yes, it is.
And did she answer?
No,
So you did not know at this junction if she's hurt, if she's in the hospital. You don't know anything. Is that correct?
I just know that her vehicle was in a wreck.
Were you concerned about your wife's safety?
Yes.
And Your Honor, if we can make that as the next exhibit to the testimony.
Mark it as the next exhibit in order.
So, Mr. Mitchell, when your wife didn't answer her phone, what did you do then?
I went to the computer and I got on the computer and was able to find a page under Metro Police, under Metro Government. I don't know if it was the police, but it told all the wrecks that was around at the time.
And your wife was living in Bellevue, is that correct?
Right.
So were you looking all over Nashville, or did you limit your search to Bellevue area?
I limited my search to Bellevue.
And did you find some car accidents in Bellevue?
There was 2 accidents. One was on old Hickory Boulevard, close to the interstate, and the other was on Sawyer Brown and Todd Priest, right in front of her local bar.
And is that where your wife, to your knowledge, spent quite a bit of time?
I'm sorry,
Does your wife spend a lot of time at that location?
a whole lot of time.
Did you then call the Metro Police Department to check on the status to see if they could tell you if your wife was okay?
Yes, I did, and they told me that
Objection, hearsay, Judge.
You can't tell
Objection,
us.
hearsay.
All right, you can't repeat what they told you.
Oh.
State the objection.
Based upon the information that they gave you, did you go out to where you thought the scene of the accident was?
yes.
Okay.
No, I did not at that time. Shortly thereafter, after I was informed that the police had already been there, I got in the vehicle and I decided to go up to the Plantation Pub and see if I could find any witnesses to the wreck.
And this shows that you made the 615-862-8600. Is that the telephone number you called for the Metro Police?
Yes,
And it looks like, according to your screenshot, you did that on March the 13th. And you did one at 10:22 and one at 10:29 p.m. Is that correct?
that's right.
Okay. And can we make a copy of this as an exhibit to your testimony?
Yes.
Your Honor, do you already have his copy? Do you have that? Okay. Again, Mr. Mitchell, were you concerned about your wife's safety?
Yes, but I was not as concerned because I'm not allowed to testify what the police told me, but there was no injuries, is what I was told.
All right. So you just wanted to check to see what the status of the vehicle was. Y'all had a joint policy, is that correct?
Right.
And so her vehicle was insured on your policy.
Yes,
So you then went to Bellevue, is that correct?
correct.
Did you get there? Were the police still there?
No.
Okay. So the accident had already been cleared?
The accident had been cleared. There was a front end of a Lexus laid in the middle of the roundabout.
And your wife does not drive a Lexus, though, is
No.
that correct? Okay. So you're assuming it was the other vehicle.
Absolutely.
And there was testimony that you went to the pub. Did you tell me why you went to the pub?
I went into the pub and went to the corner where people sat outside. There was nobody outside. The screened-in area, there was a couple sitting there. I asked them had they possibly witnessed the accident, and they did not. I asked another couple right inside the door, and they had not witnessed anything. Then I asked one of the servers if he had seen anything, and he said, "We've been so covered up, I hadn't seen anything."
And then you saw somebody that you mutually knew, is that correct?
No, I went to the door to leave. When I got to the door, I heard a familiar voice way in the distance, and it was her running buddy.
Okay.
And
And did you ever talk to her that night?
no, I did not.
Okay. Did you leave right then?
No, but when I looked over there at the woman speaking very loudly, Chuck, my son's stepfather, was standing at the door. The one she said was her big friend, and he said, "Hey Keith, how you doing?" And I said, "I'm fine." I said, "You know, I was just leaving." He said something about, well, she's over
Objection,
there with
hearsay,
Joni.
Judge. Hearsay, Judge.
Sustain the objection.
You can't tell us what he stated to you.
Chuck did not block me from her at all, but I was leaving, and then I saw her and Joni get up, heading toward the door. Before they got to the door, I went outside, stepped off the sidewalk, and turned around and looked at her. And they was all standing inside of the door, and I never spoke a word to her. Didn't know she was there.
Okay.
You know, I can't imagine somebody going into a bar after they just totaled out a couple of vehicles. And I'm sure uh, she had been to the Mexican restaurant. I think that she said they probably had at least 4 margaritas before she
Objection,
left there.
calls for speculation.
Sustain the objection. You can't hypothesize about what you think she might have done.
So you left and went home. Is that correct?
Yes,
We had mediation on July 1st. Is that correct?
yes,
Okay. And your wife was there and participated. Is that correct?
yes.
And you didn't know anything about this order of protection until I called you. Is that correct?
Right.
Y'all share grandchildren together. Is
Yes.
that correct? And is there a birthday party that's coming up?
Both of my grandsons have birthdays next month on the 14th and the 18th.
Okay. And do you think she is doing this to keep you from participating in that?
Objection, calls for speculation.
Sustain.
Tell me why you think she took out the order of protection.
To keep me from my grandson's birthday parties that my daughter said I
Objection,
figured she'd
hearsay.
do this.
Okay.
The same objection.
It's hearsay.
Sustain.
All right, Mr. Mitchell, you saw this picture with a couch. Do you recall seeing that this morning?
Yes.
Tell me what happened to the couch.
I know my wife has no idea what refraction is. We have a basketball goal that has a gigantic 1-inch thick plexiglass backboard, sits at the patio. The couch was sitting under there and it burnt. When I went out and saw that it was burnt, I had no idea how it happened. I moved it. And a few days later, I had another chair sitting there with a cushion and it was burnt. So I started doing some investigations and saw that the refraction from the basketball goal, I went inside and got a thermometer, and it was only like 83 degrees outside. And I laid the thermometer on the concrete where the light was being reflected to, and it was 105. And I may have, let me see if I can bring that picture up. That the sun did this damage.
And the couch was outside because she was getting ready to pick it up. Is that correct?
Yes, yes.
And you didn't do anything intentional.
I
to
did
hurt
not
them.
burn the couch. But I have a instant read thermometer that I use when I'm barbecuing. Good grief.
Mr. Mitchell, that's okay. You've testified to that, but you looked at the thermometer and just to see if that's what caused it.
On the day it was 88 degrees, the thermometer read 105 degrees where that light hit it. I got it right here. Can I show this to the judge?
Yes. And then if you
What caused you to do that?
Pardon?
How did you take a picture of a thermometer on that particular day?
Because I knew I'm trying to prove that she already accused me of this, me burning her couch. I didn't do it.
So
And when I saw the light right there, I said, "That's what's done it." That's why I put the thermometer there. And this day was, well, let's see. But where that X crosses, Your Honor, was the hottest spot in the concrete, 105.
You couldn't figure out how it got burned, and you were trying to investigate that, and then you testified that another chair, an
Right.
outdoor chair that had upholstery, had gotten burned as well. Is that correct?
Right. It burnt too. It wasn't quite as bad as the picture, the first one there, but that was earlier in the summer.
Okay.
Or in late summer, in August or something.
Mr. Mitchell, do you have any intent on harming your wife?
No, I do not.
And do you have any issues staying away from your wife?
I just can stay away from her forever.
You would like to be able to participate in family functions.
I keep my grandchildren every week. I'll have both of them tomorrow.
And do you feel like a lot of these complaints that she's making are things that happened almost 2 years ago?
Yes. She's been cheating on me for a long time, and that created all the name calling and all the anger.
Do you feel like you have a control and those are no longer an issue with you? Your anger, do you feel like you said that brought a lot of anger? Do you have any anger? Do you feel like that's still an issue, or do you feel like that was something that happened almost 2 years ago?
That happened. Well, I can't be honest and say I'm still not angry. I really don't want to have anything to do with her, but I plan on having everything in the world to do with my grandsons.
All right. That's all I have, Your Honor.
Mr. Williams, you may cross-examine.
Thank you, Judge. Mr. Mitchell, you keep saying that your wife's had an affair. She's adamantly denied she's ever had an affair. Has she not? She's always denied it. Okay. And you admit now in court that you stalked her. You placed an air tag on her car, correct?
Right. And I had plenty of good reasons. I have many days in December where she would use her vaginal lubricant and go out and be gone 5.5 to 6 hours every day she left.
Okay. Are you aware that it is against the law to track someone without their consent?
I had no idea.
Okay. And after she confronted you, then you went and took it off.
Yes.
So if she hadn't confronted you, you would have continued to track her, correct?
I wanted to find out who she was with so I could.
Is that a yes? You would have continued to track her if she had not confronted you?
Yes.
Okay. And you came to this person's house on November of 25, correct?
November 27th to 25th, Thanksgiving Day.
That's you in the car,
That's me in the car.
taking pictures of her vehicle, correct?
Right.
Okay. How did you know she was going to be there?
I didn't.
So you just showed up somewhere that you thought she was going to be?
It's like this. I was cooking supper for my children for Thanksgiving dinner. I needed something. I ran to Kroger's. Kroger's was closed. I just started to leave Kroger's, and I thought, I bet she's over with her sugar daddy's house right now, which is Larry Minnick, the one who gave her the money to pay you, the one who's given her $40,000.
This person's house. This is his house, correct?
That's his house.
You pulled into his driveway, into his backyard, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
That's the only way I could prove it's her vehicle. I got a picture of her vehicle through the woods, but I could not prove that it was the same vehicle.
You got a picture of her vehicle through the woods?
So I was on the road behind the house. So I had to drive in the driveway to take the picture to prove it was her.
Did you have permission from the owner to be on his property?
I wouldn't ask him permission for anything, no.
Okay. So you're just going to trespass to follow your wife?
What do you mean trespass? People come to your house, knock on the door all the time.
Okay. You think it's appropriate for you to pull into someone's backyard and start
Yes,
taking
to
pictures?
to prove that my wife is in there having sex with Larry Minnick. Yes.
You have absolutely no proof that she was having sex with anyone, do you, sir?
Well, I think I do.
Do you have?
She has all the actions of a cheating wife.
Okay. Mr. Mitchell, you sound very angry. Would you agree that you're pretty angry?
Yes.
Okay. And do you understand how when you take your anger and you accompany that with the words, "I hope you die," you understand how that could put your wife in fear?
No, it doesn't put her in fear because she said it to me.
Okay. And where'd you get the AirTag from that you placed in her vehicle?
Best Buys.
I'm sorry?
Best Buys.
Okay. Have you tracked her prior to that?
Never.
Okay. Did you have a tracker on her vehicle this year when she had the car wreck?
Absolutely not.
Well,
I have never touched her vehicle.
okay. You testified earlier that it was the bar she hangs out at all the time. How do you know she hangs out at that bar all the time?
I've got friends that tell me.
Okay. So you and other people are following her as well.
I do what?
You have other people that are telling you her whereabouts?
Everybody knows her whereabouts. She runs with a group of loudmouth women.
Okay. And you admit that you showed up to that wreck and you said that you didn't know she was okay. Is that what I heard you say?
No.
You,
I showed up to the wreck to try to find if somebody saw what happened.
okay. So you didn't care about her well-being.
Yes, I did.
Okay. Did you ever ask her if she was okay?
She wouldn't answer the phone. How can I ask her?
Well, you were at the restaurant where she was at. You saw her. Did you ask her if she was okay?
I stayed away from her because she's been claiming I've been following her for years. Not for years, for a year. And my daughter was expecting her to do this at this time, so I wouldn't get to come to the birthday parties.
Your attorney gave you an exhibit number 7, where you're saying that is it your testimony that this is all the times that you called her this night?
I don't know if it is or not. It's the same number of calls that I looked off the exhibit.
Well, your call log doesn't start till 8:09. On your wife's call log, there were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different calls prior to this, all in the same hour.
Okay, I did not see that.
Okay. So you called her 9 times in less than an hour.
Okay.
Do you think that's harassing?
No,
You don't think calling someone a whore and a slut every voicemail is harassing?
I guess it could be considered.
Okay.
But if you deserve it, you need to be called that.
Okay. You get mad when she doesn't answer the phone when you call. Isn't that true?
Okay.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Okay. You want to control her, and when she doesn't take your call, you get angry.
No.
And accused her of having sex with I think you said you just got out of off under a gang is what you said. What do you mean by that? Okay. So that's what you say. That's what you assume she's doing if she doesn't answer your call.
No.
Well, that's what you said.
Well, I might have said at that time.
Okay. On Exhibit 5 here, I want to know, what did you mean when you told her, "Hey, Skank, this is my new target for tomorrow morning"? What did you mean by that?
I had a piece of her china that she has now set out and took a picture after I found out who she was screwing.
And so you're threatening to destroy her china.
I was after I found out who gave her $40,000, yes.
Okay. So you were threatening to damage some of her property.
I did make that threat,
Okay.
but I never damaged anything. Now
You said earlier that there was an incident where she was pushed on a gate and you pushed her back. Remember that?
Yes.
Did you cause her arm to bleed?
She caused my arms to bleed.
Is this a picture of her arm bleeding after that incident? Judge, may I approach?
You may.
Is this a picture of your wife's arm bleeding the day of the incident?
Probably not. She probably went in there and made it look worse because I don't remember anything like that.
So when you said you haven't hit her, or you haven't harmed her, that wasn't actually correct, was it?
I didn't harm her. I just gave her back the gate she gave me.
I got a question for you. Why? You said earlier your attorney asked you if you had stalked her, and you said that you admitted that you turned around and followed her. What were you going to do with her when you caught her?
I did catch her, but I
Okay.
turned around and left. I wanted to make sure who it was.
Okay, well, you saw her when she passed. You were
No.
glaring at her.
She's got smoked glass in her vehicle. I was there looking at the traffic go by, and all of a sudden I looked up and somebody shot me a bird.
And you did a U-turn and went after her.
I didn't do a U-turn. I just pulled out behind her because I was going that way anyway. I didn't pull out behind her. I pulled out behind the line of traffic that was behind her, and I had to wait to get to the turning lane to pull over to see if it was her.
Where are those guns now?
They're in my gun safe.
Are all of them in your gun safe?
All except the ones I gave away to my family.
Just those are my questions.
Ms. Nell?
Mr. Mitchell, you didn't know that was your wife in the vehicle because she had a new vehicle. Is that correct?
I knew that she had a new vehicle, and I knew it was the same color as the one that came by, but I did not know it was my wife.
Okay. You just didn't know if it was some random person that shot you a bird.
Right.
Because she had totaled her vehicle and had a new vehicle, and you didn't really know what it was. Is that correct? Or you had a general idea, but you didn't know if that was.
No, I knew it was her vehicle because we both have been to ball games together. She sits at the stands, I sit at the end of the dugout, so we stay away from each other. I do
Okay.
not approach her at the end of the ball games. And I mean, I have been as close to her as me to the judge at one of the ball games, just, at the end of the ball game when we're saying goodbye to her grandson. But I've never approached her.
Were you injured at the incident with the gate at the house?
Yes, ma'am, I sure was.
Okay. Tell me about the injuries you received.
Bruises and blood.
Okay. And you have pictures of those. Is that correct?
I think I gave you pictures and they're in the main files.
Okay. All right. But you have those. Is that
Yes.
correct? Okay. And you understand from today and from our conversations that you cannot put an air tag or anything and you're not planning on doing that, and you only did it once. It was during your marriage. You had not separated. The divorce had not been filed, and you haven't done anything since then. Is that correct?
I haven't put an air tag on anything since then. Since that was December of 24.
Okay. No, divorce wasn't filed till May of the following year. Is that correct?
Right.
That's all I have you on.
Anything further, Mr. Williams?
No
Step down. Have a seat by your lawyer. You have any other proof, Ms. Snow?
No, Your Honor.
You wish to put on rebuttal proof?
No, Judge. You wish to have argument or
I will hear you an argument.
Judge, this behavior is escalating. It's getting worse, and we now know that Mr. Mitchell admits to tracking his wife back in December with an air tag. He testified by his own testimony that he would not have taken it off if she hadn't confronted him about it. I don't know what the distinction is, whether they're still married or not, because it doesn't matter. The statute doesn't really matter if you are tracking your spouse or your girlfriend. I mean, it's illegal to track a third party without their consent. He has stalked her. He admitted now that he's taken pictures of her at someone else's house through the woods and then goes on that person's property to take a better picture. He admits that he's angry with her. He thinks she deserves this behavior that he is putting towards her, and he doesn't see a problem with it. He even said, if you act this way, then you deserve to get called these things. My client has a serious concern. It is harassing behavior. It is annoying, but it's also threatening. When you tell someone, "I hope you die," after calling them 9 times in less than an hour, and with everything they've been through, I think it amounts to that she needs an order of protection. And an order of protection is only good as a piece of paper, but hopefully he'll get the hint and stay away from it. Judge would also ask to be awarded attorney fees for this.
No.
Your Honor, there's a huge burden on an order of protection. The behavior that the alleged victim alleges has to be where they're in imminent harm. Most of the
Does it
circumstances.
say that in the statute?
It says, well,
Not the statute that I've been reading, Mr. Morgan. It only alleges, it only requires that abuse be inflicting or attempting to inflict physical injury on an adult or a minor by other than accidental means, placing an adult or minor in fear of or in physical harm or physical restraint, causing malicious damage to the personal property of the abused party, or intentionally engaging in behavior that amounts to financial abuse. It also goes on to identify that victims of domestic abuse also include people who have been stalked. So
And
just
Your
wanted to make clear that I've been reading the statute during this hearing, so I'm pretty well familiar that it doesn't require the type of immediacy and seriousness as you were saying, but I've interrupted you, so please continue.
Well, Your Honor, I think it refers to the definitions in 3917-315 as it deals with stalking and harassment. And it says that it would cause a reasonable person to be frightened, intimidated, molested, terrorized. Your Honor, a lot of the behavior by Mr. Mitchell occurred before the divorce complaint was even filed. She never filed an order of protection then. She didn't file one. She didn't file one in November of 24. She didn't file one in November of 25. She didn't even file one immediately after the contact on June the 27th. She waited 2 or 3 weeks, and she did it right after mediation, and it wasn't successful. Your Honor, I don't feel like she feels threatened. I don't think that Mr. Mitchell's conduct goes to that extent. Has he been upset? Yes. Is he the first person that has called his spouse a name during the pendency of a divorce? No, he certainly isn't. As you know, this court's heard lots of testimony and in divorce cases, and it's pretty common that people call each other names when they're getting a divorce. I don't think that in and of itself is enough to issue an order of protection. You know, Your Honor, my biggest concern with this is that the parties will not be able to participate in family functions. He has no desire to be around his wife, but doesn't want to be limited in these type of functions. Your Honor, I would respectfully request that it be dismissed. This divorce has been pending for a long time, and she's never done anything. So I feel like it's being done as a strategy to kind of get back at Mr. Mitchell or to accomplish some end result to keep him from having contact with his the party's family. And I would respectfully request that it be dismissed, and I would request that I be awarded my attorney fees.
In this day and age, people oftentimes say things without relevance to whether or not they're true. But it's always been this court's belief that words matter. Words carry significance. That's why you can have an assault against someone even though there's no physical contact, because your words could place someone in fear of imminent injury and so forth, just simply in the context and under the words that are uttered. So I've been doing this a long time, probably longer than the 2 lawyers that are involved in this case. I've been judge now. This is my 12th year. I have represented a lot of people. I've represented a lot of people who are charged with abusing their spouse and so forth. I've heard a lot of cases, as Ms. Noe points out, and she's right. It's not the only case that we hear people calling names. But in all of my years, I can say that I don't think I've heard anything quite as vile and offensive as this list of phone messages that Mr. Mitchell inflicted upon Mrs. Mitchell. Sure, he may think she's having an affair, then that's fine. File for a divorce yourself, get a lawyer, take it to court. But calling someone these vile and offensive names repeatedly, calling her over and over and over again, and then at the end of that saying, I hope you die, coupled with the fact that she was aware that in the past you had placed a tracking device on her car. And by the way, 3913-606 of the Tennessee Code says electronic tracking of a motor vehicle except as provided in subsection B, which has to do with law enforcement. It is an offense for a person to knowingly install, conceal, or otherwise place on an electronic device, tracking device, in or on a motor vehicle without the consent of all the owners of the vehicle for the purposes of monitoring the following an occupant or the occupants of the vehicle. That's a Class A misdemeanor. Now, the statute's already run on that since it was apparently more than a year ago, but that's clearly a situation where you committed a crime against your wife. And then, and she knows that. She knows that you had done that. And then you have these other situations where you are, following her, and clearly that's been within recent times. If you don't want to be married to someone that you think is running around on you, that's fine. We can deal with that. But that does not mean that you have, even if she's your wife, that you have the right to use the type of language and to place her in fear of that. And I think it is a reasonable fear that she has when the man that she's been married to for 53 years, who has tracked her, is following her, and then on June 27th sends her a series of text messages that accuses her of everything under the sun, some of the most offensive things that you can imagine. And then at the end of that says, I hope you die. I can understand why she would be in fear for her safety. I think a reasonable person would. So it is this court's opinion that stalking of her, as has been proven by your own testimony, and the most significant thing that you said today, the most significant thing I heard was when Mr. Williams was cross-examining you, and he said, if she hadn't confronted you, you would have continued to have tracked her and stalked her. And you said, yes, he would have. Well, that tells me that there is a need for a protective order to prevent this stalking from taking place. Now, I do find that there is a basis for finding that an order of protection should be extended. However, the order of protection does also contain certain abilities of the court to allow for certain contact between the people, sometimes called social contact. And for that reason, I do not intend for this order of protection to prevent Mr. Mitchell from having an opportunity to attend his grandson's birthday party. They will have no direct physical contact with each other. They will have they won't speak to each other. And this goes to her too. I don't think she wants to speak to him, but he should be allowed to be there. This will be a social contact that allows him to be at family functions, so long as he does not have any direct physical contact with Mrs. Mitchell. Now, he told me you want to see your grandchildren, that that's what you want. I'm going to give you that right. I have grandchildren of my own. I don't want to ever be prevented from being able to see them. But if you violate this order, you're not going to get to see your grandchildren because you're going to be in jail. I don't want to do that. I don't want to put you there, and you don't want to be there. So make sure you understand. This may have been a temper tantrum that you threw that day, but as I've said, words matter. And in this case, I think the words that you used on the June 27th phone messages repeatedly are so severe that, coupled with the previous AirTag stalking and following that, the stalking that occurred in November of 2025, all of which serves as a basis for this entry of this order. Mr. Williams will submit his application for attorney's fees, and I will consider that as a part of the record.
Judge, I just submitted order with a blank in there and my attorney fee affidavit.
That would be fine.
Thank you, Judge.
That concludes this hearing. I hope that the two of you, at some point, the two of you had some feelings for each other. I know you've been married since you were 17. Is that right? So you've been together a long time, and I know you had feelings for one another. Whatever, it's easy to have harsh feelings towards somebody when you feel like that they're throwing away your marriage. But you don't want to be married to somebody that you don't trust and that has, in your opinion, been messing around on you. She doesn't want to be married to you anymore. So you two need to solve your problems, just get away from each other. And maybe you can, in the future, have some sort of a relationship where you can at least tolerate each other enough to be around your grandchildren at some public events. All right. There will be no messages of any kind interchange. He will not text her. Any communication that you need to have with her, go through your lawyer. That will mean no direct or indirect. You can't send her a message by one of the other family members as well. Anything else that I've not touched on? All right, then that concludes this case. We will adjourn for lunch until 1:15.